There we go. All right, you guys, welcome to episode 4 of Waypoint Warriors Beyond the Barbell. And I'm here with Olivia, who's going to introduce herself in just a second. But just to preface that, you guys, we have been talking about setting this up, I think, way back a good 3 weeks ago. I think when I first thought of doing this series, Olivia was top of mind, and it's taken this long to work around sleep and work schedules and to film this. So yay, I'm excited that we're finally here and sitting down for a minute, and you look well rested, so that's good.
It's a good day off.
Hey, it is a day off, good.
Well, my name's Olivia. I am a ER nurse in one of our local Tacoma emergency rooms.
Awesome, and how long have you been there?
I've been there for about 6 months now.
Cool. And are you getting days off, like normal days off, or is it just kind of just go with the flow?
I'm getting normal days off. I do like to pick up a lot of shifts and help out when I can, so mine are a little different than others, but that's by my own choice. But we're doing a lot of on-call kind of stuff right now too, just so that we can spread the resources where they're needed.
Awesome. And so so everybody who's kind of been watching our stuff, we've been state mandated closure and quarantine for a little over 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, but we were a good probably week into that before King County had been hit probably about 4 weeks ago. And so tell us how the last month has gone. Because I think it's super fascinating. We've talked to everybody about it, but things have changed so fast, and you guys just by nature have just been on top of it and moving and shaking and changing. So how has that been?
I would say that first week before like the state was kind of on top of it and making the big changes and stuff like that was probably the weirdest week for us, just because this is a new virus in general. So kind of trying to learn the different protocols and stuff like that are going to change our daily job was kind of like the biggest learning curve. But in general, the emergency room and first responders and everything like that were kind of just like organized chaos. So it's never really about going to work and doing the same thing every day. It's more about going to work and being prepared and knowing how to take whatever's thrown at you. So it's been kind of the same way like that for us. Just, every day is different and every person that comes in is different. We have a lot of different safety nets in place right now. So it's changed, and it was a weird learning curve in the beginning, but now that we're kind of all settling in with what kind of different protocols we need to have, it's mellowed out a bit.
Mm-hmm. And I think I talked to you 2 weeks ago where there was a definite shift in terms of our state and our counties dealing with emergency room visits. And it sounded like that was really a good shift for everybody in our hospitals and our medical workers, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good shift. The emergency room is not a place to be right now. It's not a fun place to be. It's not a clean place to be. There's a lot of germs, and everybody that's really sick right now, especially with this virus, are there. So advising people not to come in unless it's really an emergency was a really good move, and has really helped us to kind of try and spread the resources even more that we do have to the people that really need them right now.
Mm-hmm. And how has things changed just overall, would you say, from 6 months to now in terms of your day-to-day activities?
Honestly, they're generally the same. Day to day, it's just a little bit slower, and slower is a very loose term to use because it's just different. There's a lot less people coming in that aren't very, very, very sick. There's a lot more people that are coming in that are really, really sick. So as far as my day changes, right now I've been doing a lot of on-call just to try and help out wherever I'm needed in all of the different hospitals in the area. But otherwise, being in the emergency room, the day-to-day hasn't changed all that much.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of fascinating, too, to hear from you and our other staff that are medical personnel, and just the speed at which you guys had to change. Was it like daily, or is it still daily that protocols are changing and systems are changing, or has it kind of settled down a little bit?
It's definitely settled down, but still every day is different. Every day something changes still. It's just getting a lot more minor now. In the beginning, the first couple days when this virus was first out there in the news and stuff like that, we had a couple days where there was nothing, and then all of a sudden it was just big changes one after another in the whole department. But now it's more down to smaller things, but there's still changes every single day.
Yeah. And is it like, it seems like it takes a special personality. I don't know about anybody else watching, but I come in contact with a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who do not like change whatsoever. And so I think it's fascinating. We were talking a little bit before this, is fascinating to see how our healthcare workers and our first responders are very similar in that every day it's different and oftentimes changing throughout. So these procedures and these rules and these guidelines are there, and you guys follow them, I think, better than anybody. As somebody who's married to a first responder, you guys follow them so well, but when it comes to changing and having to adjust, I don't think there's anybody that does it better. And I think it's just super fascinating to see now you guys coming into the light, because I think we've known that for like fire and police, right? Like we know that there's like emergency situations in front of us on the street that we've seen, but everything you guys have done in terms of that has all been like hidden behind four walls. And I think it's super interesting, and it's encouraging, I think, to see that and know that and start hearing that. And so that is just, I don't know, really cool, and we appreciate that, everything you guys are doing. And so with that said, in terms of just the overall attitude, or I don't know if attitude is the right way, but in terms of perspective as to where we're at and where we're going with that, what is your thoughts on that?
I've kind of been trying to formulate that answer for myself lately, just because, we hear a lot of things in the news too. And a lot of the things that we hear in the news are very different from what I hear at work. So it's kind of hard to figure out what our broad spectrum kind of true facts are right now in the world. But I really think that we're definitely doing a lot better than we were 2-3 weeks ago. I think that everybody's done a really good job about staying home and staying separate. And that's really decreased at least the speed that this has been spreading. And I think that it's also just really been really important that everybody's been so much more educated on even just daily things that we should be doing in general when this isn't going on, that will hopefully prevent things in the future too. So I think we're in a good spot right now, and I think we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I definitely think that's one of the biggest positives is after this moving forward. And, I joked about even our facility. It's like, it was kind of clean.
Mm-hmm.
But when 4 weeks ago, when kind of this all came to be and Washington State was hit, it was like, we were really clean.
Right.
and it's nice. And those are things that we started implementing, things that I would love to continue after the fact. So right. I hope at the end of this that we do keep some of these processes and procedures and just philosophy of distancing and safety and health general. So that's awesome. Are you keeping yourself healthy?
Surprisingly, yeah, actually. I think I got sick a couple months ago, and I think that was kind of the worst of it for me. So I've been powering through as much as I can right now.
Yeah, and resting, and are you able to work out at all?
I have been. It's actually been such a blessing to be able to have these workouts at home. I get to squeeze them in between shifts and stuff. So, and the weather's great now, so that's an even bigger bonus.
No, it's just, I don't know if people outside of Washington feel it, but like when the sun comes out here,
it's a whole different world.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's like I no longer feel like I need to go anywhere. I'm good because we can be outside and like
exactly
melt a little bit or deep thaw. So, well, awesome. Thank you again for everything that you're doing. Anything else to add before we hop off of here?
Really, I just want to say kind of the same thing that I've heard you say a couple times in the other videos, that like right now is like you word for word said, it's a bummer. It's a hard time. It's a weird time. It's going to be a strange time and a hard time to come back from for a lot of people, but it's not the end of the world. I think we've got a lot of good things going on, a lot of good education going out there and stuff like that. And it's just, it's really important to be smart in this time, but it doesn't have to be scary. I think that everybody just needs to be educated and take that education and work with it, and we'll come out of it better off here hopefully soon.
I agree. Awesome. Thanks, Olivia. We'll talk to you later. Hopefully see you soon.
All right.